The FV Andrea Gail was a commercial fishing vessel that was lost at sea with all hands during the perfect storm of 1991. The vessel and her 6-man crew had been fishing the North Atlantic Ocean out of Gloucester, Massachusetts. Her last reported position was 180 mi northeast of Sable Island on October 28, 1991. The story of Andrea Gail and her crew was the basis of the 1997 book The Perfect Storm by Sebastian Junger, and a 2000 film. FV Andrea Gail was a 72-foot commercial fishing vessel constructed in Panama City, Florida in 1978, and owned by Robert Brown. Her home port was Marblehead, Massachusetts. She also sailed from Gloucester, Massachusetts, where she would offload her catch and reload food, fuel, and stores for her next run. She was originally named Miss Penny. Lost at sea, final voyage. Andrea Gail began her final voyage departing from Gloucester Harbor, Massachusetts, on September 20, 1991, bound for the Grand Banks of Newfoundland off the coast of eastern Canada. After poor fishing, Captain Frank W. Billy Tyne Jr. headed east to the Flemish Cap where he believed they would have better luck. Despite weather reports warning of dangerous conditions, the captain set course for home on October 26 for Euro 27, 1991. It is known that the ship's ice machine was malfunctioning and unable to maintain the catch for much longer. This is suggested as a key factor in the decision to head home on October 26. Disappearance. The last reported transmission from Andrea Gail was at about 6 p.m. on October 28, 1991. Captain Tyne radioed Linda Greenlaw, captain of Andrea Gail's sister ship Anna Bodden, and gave his coordinates as 44°00 Euro squared N 56°40 Euro squared W, or about 162 mi east of Sable Island. He also gave a weather report indicating 30-foot seas and wind gusts up to 80 knots. Tyne's final recorded words were "She's comin' on, boys, and she's comin' on strong." Junger reported that the storm created waves in excess of 100 ft in height, but ocean buoy monitors recorded a peak wave height of 39 feet, and so waves of 100 ft were deemed unlikely by Science Daily. However, data from a series of weather buoys in the general vicinity of the vessel's last known location recorded peak wave action exceeding 100 ft in height from October 28 through 30, 1991. No further messages were heard from the vessel and no other ships were able to reach her. Search. On October 30, 1991, the vessel was reported overdue. An extensive air and sea search was launched by the 106th Rescue Wing from the New York Air National Guard, United States Coast Guard and Canadian Coast Guard forces. The search would eventually cover over 186,000 square nautical miles. On November 6, 1991, Andrea Gail's emergency position indicating radio beacon was discovered washed up on the shore of Sable Island. The EPIRB was designed to automatically send out a distress signal upon contact with seawater, but the Canadian Coast Guard personnel who found the beacon did not conclusively verify whether the control switch was in the on or off position. Authorities called off the search for the missing vessel on November 9, 1991. Due to the low probability of crew survival. Fuel drums, a fuel tank, the EPIRB, an empty life raft, and some other flotsam were the only wreckage ever found. The ship was presumed lost at sea somewhere along the continental shelf near Sable Island. Crew. All 6 of the crew were lost at sea. Frank W. Billy Tyne, Jr., aged 34 from Gloucester, Massachusetts. Michael Bugsy Moran, aged 36 Florida, Dale R. Murph Murphy, aged 30 Bradenton Beach, Florida, Alfred Pierre, aged 32 New York City, New York, Robert F. Bobby Shatford, aged 30 Gloucester, Massachusetts, David Sully Sullivan, aged 29 Gloucester, Massachusetts. In the media, the story of Andrea Gail and her crew inspired Sebastian Junger's 1997 book, The Perfect Storm, and a 2000 film, distributed by Warner Brothers. The Andrea Gail's near-sister ship, Lady Grace, was used during the filming of the movie. A model of Andrea Gail, built by Paul Gran, is on display at the Cape Ann Museum in Gloucester. Footnotes. References: U.S. investigation into the disappearance of the Andrea Gail, U.S. Coast Guard, Junger, Sebastian. The Perfect Storm, A True Story of Men Against the Sea. HarperCollins, 1997. External links: Andrea Gail MFV on the wreck site, image of the pilot house, image of the refrigerated storage area, 1.